Welcome to our very first TED Talk, and we will be your host for today, Ivan Salinas, and with my partner, Kim Atienza. Are you guys ready for our very first TED Talk?
Of course, partner. We are all ready for this TED Talk. This is our newest segment for everyone who is very interested in knowing more about the moral principles.
Yes, that's right, partner. For our talk today, we will be joined by someone who knows a lot about this moral principle. I am very excited to start this talk and to know more about this topic.
Same here, partner. I am sure our audience will be very excited to listen to our speaker and participate with her. Let us now welcome our speaker, Miss Maxine Hambolos. She studied at San Beda University where she first learned the different principles, and now look at where she is right now.
Thank you so much, everyone. I am very excited to share with you what I know regarding the moral principles, especially contractualism.
I am sure that our audience are very excited as well. But before we start, we'll be having a quick break just to prepare things for our speaker. See you tight after the break. And now we are back. We can't wait for what Miss Maxine will be sharing with us. Right, partner?
Oh yes, I am very excited. Same goes with our audience. Let us now give the floor to our speaker, Miss Maxine Hambolos.
Once again, thank you for inviting me to be your first speaker on your newest segment. For our topic today, it is one of the most known moral principles, contractualism. I chose to discuss this with you guys because I think that this is one of the most relevant principle for what is happening to us and to our country today. But what is contractualism about? Well, it is used to indicate the view that morality is based on contracts and agreement. But it is also used to determine the goodness and wrongness of someone's actions based on their agreements. The philosophers who had a great impact on these were John Rawls, Thomas Hobbes, John Locke, and Thomas Michael Scanlon. They were the ones who taught us what contractualism is all about. But before I explain more about our topic, any questions?
How is contractualism relevant to what the workers are experiencing right now?
That is a nice question. Due to the pandemic, companies have been forced to send their workers home and, start working from home. People have been trying to balance out everything and adjust to the new normal. Who knows until when, right? Most jobs have been open to flexible schedules, which means that workers may be able to start whenever they want and end whenever they want. Companies have been adjusting because who knows what someone is going through, right? Workers are now able to save up money because they're spending less with transportation fees, parking fees, lunch outs, and many more. Workers have now a happier and healthier work life. Studies have provided that working from home reduces stress and provides more time for hobbies and improvements for other interests. But with all these advantages, there are still some disadvantages from working from home, just like lacking motivation. Workers won't be able to finish their task when they are not motivated. Workers could also be burnt out. This is considered a disadvantage because some might not be able to differentiate work life and personal life, which could possibly lead to working longer than usual. Last is lack of equipment. Working from home is not easy, but especially if you don't have what you need for work. Sorry. As you heard, there are different advantages and disadvantages from working from home. Well, contractualism is relevant because companies keep their promises to their workers and vice versa. But at some point, it will either be the company or the workers who would not be able to comply and could possibly lead to misunderstandings. Well, contractualism is about fulfilling your promises, right? And when you do not fulfill this promise, why did you make it in the first place? I hope I was able to answer your question. Are there any more?
Well, that was very interesting. But before we proceed to answer another question, we'll be having a short break and we'll be right back.
Susulong tayo, babangon tayo, susulong tayo.
We are now back. I have learned something already with what Miss Maxine said a while ago. What more now that we are about to hear from her again? I'm sure most of you have questions, and she will be happy to answer it for you guys.
My question is, how contractualism is relevant to our politics today?
That is a tough question. This coming year, we'll be having our elections. There will be politicians that does not care about wrongdoings. They do not care about cheating, buying votes, threatening others, or even manipulating the counting system just for them to win this coming election. These politicians are based on the idea of self-interested bargain or contract between self-interested individuals for the sake of individual gain. On the other hand, there are politicians who believe that there is no such thing as right. These are the ones who are based on the idea of a morally constrained agreement among individuals who regard themselves and one another as free and equal persons warranting moral respect. To simplify this, they know how to play the fair game. They are not self-centered and not simply thinking about themselves, but also thinking the welfare of all people. Which shows that contractualism is very relevant. There is goodness and wrongness in politics. We must look further into the politicians and make sure to vote wisely. I hope I was able to answer your question properly.
Wow, that is a nice answer. I learned something again from Miss Maxine. I hope you also learned something from her, just like me and my partner did. We would like to give our gratitude to our speaker for being able to share her knowledge about contractualism.
Yep, that's right, partner. I learned a lot from Miss Maxine as well. Thank you for accommodating us for our very first TED Talk.
I'm very happy to share everything I know with you guys, and I'll be happy to come back for more future talks like this.
I am really glad that I was able to witness something like this today. I was able to learn what contractualism is about and how it is relevant to what we are experiencing today. We may not notice it before, but while our speaker was explaining what contractualism is about, I was able to recall some of what I did and I was performing this moral principle.
Same here, partner. I was able to recall my wrong and good doings as well. I also learned that promises really do make a difference for both parties and that it is important to fulfill what you said. I'm actually sad that we had to cut short our talk for today. But will surely not be the last TED Talk that will air.
Of course, partner, we'll be back again with more episodes of our TED Talk. That's it. Once again, we're your hosts for today. We hope you enjoyed listening to us and thank you to those who were able to participate. Goodbye and see you next week.